Happy Friday, everybody. I hope you've been having a very good week. I'm Kathy W. Welcome to the September 12th chat. Warm welcome to Yarn with Heart. Today, in addition to sharing about a finished blanket and a couple of works in progress, let's chat about the advantages of borders on some blankets, also how I choose which border to put on a blanket, choosing the one that will not only look best, the one that will structurally be best. If you would like to share in the comments or by email about anything, I will definitely reply. Often there is a weekly question or a chance to share hints and tips with each other, and I love to hear from you. I'm so happy that many of you join me in learning new things by participating in the Something New Make-Along here each month. The inspiration color for September in that make-along is to use one of your favorite colors, and details about the make-along are in the September 1st video. And speaking of make-alongs, the live for the summer cal that Judy and I are hosting is this Sunday on September 14th at 1 o'clock Eastern Time. Thank you so much to everyone who sent in pictures for the slideshow. That will be part of the live. Judy and I are looking forward to getting together with you all on the 14th at Judy's Creations in Crochet. And speaking of make-alongs, I am getting my ducks in a row about the knit and crochet dishcloths here. Thank you so much for the amazing response, and we can start that one soon, hopefully next month in October. I will share news about that next week. Now, do you have your cups and yarn ready? Let's settle in for a Friday visit. Oh, and there is one additional September activity to share. This is a call out for viewer news. For anyone who is new, this is where viewers can let me know about fun, interesting things happening that you would like me to share with the community. There are 2 more upcoming events. The first one, shared by email with me to let you know about, is Alpaca Farm Days coming up on September 27th and 28th at Menagerie Hill Farm in Vacaville, California. And the second one is the Dixon Lamb Town Festival on October 4th and 5th at the Fairgrounds in Dixon, California. If you hear of anything that you would like to mention, news, events, exciting things to share, please send me an email and put viewer news or viewer share in the subject line. Thank you so much to those who have already shared viewer news with the community, and for works in progress and finished items. When it comes to works in progress, one of the things that I have been working on this week is a blanket. This is called the Alpine House. It is designed by Jessica Reeves from Mama in a Stitch. I am using the free version on her website, and there is also a paid pattern available. For this one, I'm using an 8mm hook, and the yarn is Karen Colorama in the color Beeswax. Now, usually I don't choose this color as it is very yellow adjacent. This was a yarn that came in a Christmas Advent box that I'm sure when I donate this, there will be some people who love this color. The reason that I chose this yarn to work with is that it matches a color in the book cover of the month that Rosanna from Crochet with Nona Rosanna she has a different book cover each month, and this month the book is called The Book Thief by Marcus Zusk. And there were 3 book covers to choose from this month, and I decided to really challenge myself and choose the color that I would not usually work with. Now, this one I'll show you here. There's the stitch pattern. So this one I just got to start with, and it's going to be the right width for a lapgan. So that's what I'm working on for the book cover of the month. And the other work in progress that I have been working on is the total other side of the color spectrum. This project is for the Something New Make Along, and this month the inspiration color for us to use is one of our favorite colors. Now, sky blue is definitely one of my favorite colors. For this project, the variegated yarn has added more than just white and blue. It included some gray and soft green to the mix, as well as the white. Oh, I got this up backwards. The pattern is by Veronica from Blue Star Crochet. There's a free version and a paid version available, and I'll show you the stitches here just a little closer. There we go. I'm learning a new stitch with this one. Although it's called the Valentina Bed Runner, I am using the pattern to make a prayer shawl, and the yarns that I'm using are Bernat Baby Sport, and this one's the Cool Blue, and also I have a baby blue color, and the hook size I'm using for this one is a 5mm hook size. Now for the finished item, I finished the lapgan that I had started last week using colors in the butterfly of the month for September. To make this blanket, I started with a chain of 87 to make the smallest size, and I'm using a 5.5mm hook. The pattern name is 5-Hole Windowpane Blanket, and it is designed by Lauren Irving. The yarn that I'm using is a Mary Maxim. It's a maximum value in the colors dark blue and white. And here's a picture of the butterfly for this month. Now, I really liked the way that this pattern alternates between solid sections and window pane sections, and the pattern has sizes available from 25 inches to 69 inches in width, and it is a free pattern from on Ravelry. There we go. Now, I did add a simple border to the lapgan, and by doing that, it reaches the intended width for a lapgan of 30 inches. So there's the border that I put on here. There. That brings us to one of the benefits of using a border. They add width and length to a blanket if the multiple of the blanket is not quite what you need to reach the intended size, as happened with this one. Just choose the size that is slightly smaller and then add a border, and this is what happened here. The second benefit is that borders can add stability and structure to a blanket. I especially notice this when I am making a lacier pattern, or as in this one where it had the fillet right up to the edge of the border, or when making a granny square blanket. This way the blanket is less likely to stretch out of shape on the edges, and it won't stretch out of shape with wear and with age. A third benefit to a border is when you want to use a particular yarn but might not quite have enough to complete the whole blanket, you can make the blanket as big as possible with the first color, and then choose a contrasting color and add a border to make the blanket bigger. Another benefit is that a pretty border can turn a simple plain blanket into something very special. And now, a question about how to choose the border. I have to admit that I do have some go-to borders that I use often. That said, there are some guidelines that I try to use and I find helpful. The first is, if a blanket is very colorful and attention-grabbing in the center, then I often will choose a simple border for the edges. On the other hand, if a blanket is really simple, I have sometimes found a frilly or elaborate border, or a border in an eye-catching color. Either of these brings that something extra that the blanket needs to take it from a regular blanket to a wow. If the blanket is textured, I usually use a very simple non-textured border. I always start a border with a row of single crochets, and in the corner I make single crochet, chain 2 single crochet, and this gives stability for the upcoming border. Some of my favorites for simple borders are to use the moss stitch, or to put on a half double crochet and then a single crochet in the third loop. Or I also like to do shells around the blanket, especially for a more feminine finish. Now, I have a question. Do you have favorite borders? Or do you have places and designers that you go to for their border ideas? If you would like to share with the community, these can be included in next week's videos, and we can all help each other. So please do include those in the comments or send me an email. And now, to end the video with a yarn quote for the day, and that quote is, "Any good thing that I can do, or any kindness I can show to any fellow creature, let me do it now. Let me not defer or neglect it, for I shall not pass this way again." And that's a quote by Stephen Grillet. It's on page 92, and it's in this book called Knitting for Peace, Make the World a Better Place One Stitch at a Time. And the book is written by Betty Christiansen. So everyone, have a wonderful week. Enjoy your crochet, enjoy your knitting, and I hope to see you next video.